Yo, this transfer window is not even making any sense. How does Man United get Bryan Mbeumo, Mat- Matthias Cunha, and they just finished 15th? Like, I get it. Don't get me wrong. United have pull. United are always going to be one of the biggest clubs in Europe and in England. But for them to be doing stuff like this just makes no sense. I'm sorry. And Boomo as well. I'm just kind of like, bro, like you're rejecting teams that have Champions League. This came out today, exclusive. Bryan Mbeumo decides he wants to join Man United. MUFC now expected to open talks with Brentford in bid to sign 25-year forward this summer. Likes of Aston Villa, Newcastle, Tottenham all interested, but Cameroon International favors Old Trafford if deal agreed. Yo, this is such it's just an interesting like it's just interesting, yo. How is United getting away with this? How are they getting away with this shit? All of a sudden, they go from what negative 11 goal difference with these two guys to potentially plus 15, plus 20. Because Mbuemo himself gives you, I don't know, in this United team, he gives you like 15 goals. Let's just say 15 goals, 7 assists. Cunha gives you another, 10 to 15. That's already 30 goals between these two guys. Now you're looking at the likes of, Fernandez contributing a little bit, maybe Xerxes. I mean, to be honest, I'm still trying to think who's going to score the goals for them. But I just think with these two guys, it just gives you a different dimension. Now, talk of United wanting to go get Mateta. If United get either Mateta or Gyökeres, guarantee they're finishing in the top half of the table. That's too much quality. Granted, you still got to look at that midfield. So it's all about what's that midfield saying. But with these two guys, that's like one of the ways to go. And for me, real talk, these are the kind of players we should be looking at. Like, I get it, Esteval's coming in, but Esteval's young. Sell Noni. Send Noni to Brentford, add some money. Be like, yo, Mbuemo, I want you to make that right flank yours. Compete with Esteval. He's not ready yet. This position is yours. Champions League, I give you a little bit more money. You have the chance to compete and play with the likes of Cole Palmer, Caicedo, Enzo, Jadon Sancho, potentially Ekitike. Bro, you sell the project to him like that, and he'll probably sign. These are the kind of people we should be looking at. Not Gittins, not Garnacho, not even Nico Williams, because this guy comes in, say Chelsea sign an Ekitike and Delap. Mbuemo comes in and already adds another dimension to your team. He complements and compensates for the goals that, say, your Delaps and your Ekitikes might not score. But then you're still getting goals in your team. We've always said we need a goal scoring winger, and this is one of the prime ones right now. 25, just came off a crazy season for Brentford. 20 goals, 7 assists in 38 games. Bro, we should be all over this. Give them Noni, give them, Carney Chukwuemeka, give them Leslie Gochuku. Bro, give them somebody. Like, you should not be letting somebody of this quality just go to United. You're in the Champions League. You have more to offer. You can give them more, you can offer some money. United probably will offer more money than we do, but it's like, yo, add the incentives to it. You're playing in Europe. You can potentially cement that, that spot for yourself. It's just, sell it. It's just crazy we're letting a player of this quality just walk to United like that. But again, other teams were in for him. Aston Villa, he rejected Newcastle. I mean, I know nobody wants to go to Tottenham, so it doesn't really matter. But rejecting Newcastle and Aston Villa is big. But then it tells you, like, he understands United are always going to be a bigger club than Villa, than, Newcastle. So he's potentially banking on the fact that United are going to be good again. And then him and Cunha with Amad Diallo, bro, that's a decent attacking, trio right there. You play Ahmad as a wingback, you play Mbuemo as one of your tens, fam. That's quality. That's attacking. That's finishing right there, bro. That's a lot of goals. So yeah, we're just all here sitting here watching United walk away with Mbuemo, and we're not doing anything about it. But then we had more news on the Chelsea front that we're accelerating for. It's Ekitike. Now, look, I haven't watched a lot of Ekitike, but just based off the comps you see, this guy kind of reminds me a bit of Jackson, but just more of a more polished version of Jackson and someone who's more clinical than Jackson. But I'm always hesitant on the Bundesliga tax. Like for me, that Germany tax is too real. I've seen it at my club too many times, namely Timo Werner, Kai Havertz. I've already seen that, and I'm trying to be, very cautious of it. But then again, we've seen some of the striker targets we've had with these sporting directors. Omorodian, what's his name? Jean Duran. We let these guys go because one, Samu, we wanted to get Joao Felix instead of him, and then we also got what you call it, Duran. We were concerned about his attitude problems and whatnot, and then these guys going and they're scoring goals elsewhere, and we're like, damn, we're left with just Jackson. I mean, Omorodian. At the end of the day, hindsight is 2020. I wanted Felix at the end, but I still wanted a striker. So if I'm selling, somebody to Atletico, I'm selling Gallagher and I'm getting a Omorodian. But for you to do a Felix swap with Omorodian, cool. But then give me a number 9. You know what I mean? Like, give me somebody for Felix to potentially create for Palmer to create for Enzo to create for Caicedo to create for Neto to create for Reece James. Like, and that's why I'm looking more of at a profile of like an Osimhen, maybe not even a Gyökeres, because Osimhen is a beast in the air, bro. On the ground, in the air, Osimhen will bag your goals. So I would rather we go for someone like an Osimhen, but then again, it's all about the wages. They don't want to pay the wages, so we're looking at alternatives like Ekitike, Delap. Now, if you get a Delap and an Ekitike, but you need to compensate that for somebody who provides you goals from the flanks. Because how clinical are these guys going to be? Bro, we're in the Champions League, so we need some extra firepower. We need people who are going to be clinical. I have no problems with Delap because I like the profile. I like the physicality. I like the fact that this guy single-handedly can drag his team from defense to attack. This is a very good transition player. And there's going to be games where we're going to have to play in transition. We're not always going to be the team that's having possession of the ball a lot. We're not going to always possess the ball more than somebody else. There's going to be games you have to concede possession. You have to play on the counter. You have to play in transition. The lap gives you that. Ekitike also will give you that. But for me, it's like I want a gunman up front. And Osimhen will guarantee you goals regardless. On the floor, in the air, far post, near post, that guy just has the quality and he screams Chelsea. But look, these are the profiles we're going for. Ekitike, fingers crossed, these guys coming in their bag at the end of the day. Because we cannot go into another season with just Nicholas Jackson. It just doesn't make any sense. We're having the low talks, links with Brentford from Everton. That's going to be a hard deal to pull off because Everton are going to want to charge you an arm and a leg. They did it to United last season. They asked for 80 mil, maybe a bit more. They're always going to want to ask you for something. But you might have something that Everton might want. You might have certain players, your Badia Shiles, Desasi, even Tosin. You can throw one of those in there, you get your Brentford, and you're good to go. I know we're looking at Gerard Hato, but it's like, maybe for the left back position, because we also do need some cover for Cucurella at the end of the day. But if you can get 2 of them, Brentford, Hato, you get Ekitike, you already have got Delap. Now you got Andres Santos coming in midfield, Isugo, Petrovic. Okay, now you're cooking a little bit. But for me, I would rather a goal-scoring winger as well. I know Esteval's coming in, but he should not be the one we're looking at for the season. Like, this season should be a free hit for Esteval. Get him adjusted, adapted to the league, adapted to the team, the culture, the weather, the language. Bro, all of these things are going to be important. That's why it's necessary that we set it up in a way where we're ready to go. We're in the Champions League, bro. We should not be looking at your Garnachos. These are not links we should be having anymore. If we were in the The Europa League, maybe, but even with that, like these guys aren't just, they're not the standard. Now you're at the big boys table, you got to move like one. But so far, United, they're showing some real intent with Mbuemo, with Cunha. I mean, that's just a straight, like straightforward firepower, dragging them from 15th. Them two alone, I'll put United 8th right now, just from just two signings, 8th, and that's probably like minimum, But I think a lot goes into it. It's just this transfer window is going to be crazy, man. Because for them to be making these kinds of signings off the rip, yeah, I'm jealous. I ain't even gonna hold you, but we'll see how it goes. The window's still open for a little bit. We'll see what kind of quality we can add to this team. But yeah, these are the few things I wanted to talk about because it's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. But guys, like the video, sub to the channel, hop in the comments, interact with the content. It's always nice to see people watch the content, like it, share it, because then it helps the channel. We're at like 164 now. Push it up to 200 if you can. Now the season is over. Now the transfer market is open. We're going to see which teams are making the big moves, and we're going to try and cover it. So can't believe Mbuemo is going to United, man. It's just, it makes no sense. It doesn't, but it's United. They're always going to have the name, they're always going to have the prestige, and they're always going to have the pull. And if Almorin can get it right, yeah, they're going to be a problem. But we'll see, man. I'm going to catch y'all later. Take it easy.